Hey guys, Steven here. Fanatic Perspective, Hook 'em Horns. First bowl win, first winning season. First winning season since 2013, first bowl win since 2012. So it's been 5 years since we as Texas fans have gotten to experience this feeling. It feels great. Seeing this team minus, I think, 11 guys today. All Americans, Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year, all these guys out, and they came out there with a chip on their shoulder. Played very imperfect game. We'll get into some of that here in a bit, but very passionate, fired up, and the energy, just the energy they had, all four quarters, offense, defense, special teams. You do have to give a lot of credit to the coaching staff. I did see some improvements with the 17 practices that they had between the Texas Tech debacle and today in the Texas Bowl against Missouri. So congratulations, Texas wins 33-16. Michael Dickson, MVP, well-deserved. Congratulations. Thank you for your service, sir. All 3 years coming from Australia. A lot of people don't know he played his first football game ever at Notre Dame and has been holding his own since and has been the best special teams weapon in the country, in my opinion, over the last 2 years. And he put on a show today and dominated this football game. I never thought I would say those words from or about a punter, and that's exactly what he did today. Consistently controlling the field, punting inside the 20, 10-5. That safety that we ended up getting due to, the crowd noise or whatever, the count, that was because he backed them up there. And when you can consistently have teams start deep in their own territory inside the 20 to 10 like that, the margin for error is very, very slim. And when anything goes wrong, if that fumble snap, for example, if that happened at the 40 or 50-yard line, then it's just a 10, 18-yard loss. Missouri can punt the ball, try to flip the field. It happens back there. That's a safety, potentially a touchdown. The fumble return. When you're making teams having to go drive the length of the field, go on 10, 12 play drives, their ability to make mistakes will increase because, just the amount of plays that they have to run. Even a great offense such as Missouri's, they didn't have Josh Heupel there as he accepted the UCF job, and I know they kind of cooled off having all that time off after being so hot during the season. But bowl games really, games like this really come down to preparation and kind of revitalizing your team, and you have to again give credit to Tom Herman as well as Todd Orlando. Defensively, they were outstanding today. I think 4 turnovers, 2 defensive scores. Remarkable job, especially with the personnel he had out there. They didn't miss a beat. I was listening to Manny Atro. You wouldn't have known, if we didn't tell you who the players were, you wouldn't have known that this wasn't the defense. A lot of these guys. I mean, P.J. Locke had missed a lot of games. Wheeler got to come back in. We're missing Malik. We're missing Chris Nelson, Deshaun Elliott, Holton Hill. And what I really appreciate about this defense throughout the season is the development of certain players. And I also have to give credit to the position coaches. I don't think they're getting enough credit. You look at a guy like Jason Washington, our cornerbacks coach. Outstanding job. Holton Hill, all these guys were reclamation projects coming into the season. Holton Hill, he took him from basically being benched in the Charlie Strong regime to being an NFL draft pick. And I know he got suspended and all that nonsense, but before that, he was arguably the best corner in the Big 12. Deshaun Elliott had only started 1 game before that. And actually, let me get back to the corners because Deshaun is a safety. But Chris Boyd, who I've had my, he's been probably the most frustrating player for me to watch since young Duke Thomas. But Chris Boyd, he didn't even get thrown at today. I mean, people were really, you look at Missouri. Missouri came in this game targeting Devontae Davis. And Devontae Davis really didn't get to come on until after the Holton Hill situation. And they got him coached up, because that's not the same Devontae Davis we saw come in after we lost Holton. And he has gotten better and better every week. I think it's 2 straight games now where he's gotten an interception, the Tech game. And I know he still got beat a few times, but that's going to happen when you're getting targeted as much as he is, because you're getting such good play on the other side with Chris Boyd. They have to go somewhere, especially a dynamic offense like that. And so, yeah, he was getting beat, but he also challenged receivers and made plays on the ball and was physical. And that we hadn't seen that from Devontae Davis, especially his sophomore year. We saw glimpses of it his freshman year, because he has the length and the hands to be a great corner. Really does. But now you're starting to see the mental aspect and the physical aspect take place. And I'm very, very excited for these guys going into next year with a loaded DB class coming in. A lot of those guys that we got signed already due to the early signing period coming in for spring ball. You know, this is a lot of momentum coming forward for Texas. So I give a lot of credit again to these position coaches and led by Todd Orlando on the defensive side of the ball for getting guys ready to play and finding roles for players throughout the season. What they've done, how they brought along Gary Johnson. They started off slowly and upticked him throughout the season. Same thing with Brecken Hager. And now they're key members. They're going to be, you know, some of these guys are going to be captains going into next season. So outstanding job on the defensive side. Offensively, you know, Tim Beck, you know, it just is what it is. You just continue to shake your head. I know they tried to give both quarterbacks an opportunity today. We were shorthanded at running back, and I get all that. I thought Texas was actually pretty good running the football inside the tackles. I thought we were good with some of our rollouts, throwing outside the numbers, and some of the wheel routes we ran. I did see some creative things that were promising. Things that where I was frustrated was just we were going to the well too much stuff, outside zone, swing routes, and just stuff that I've seen all year that we just quite frankly don't block well, we don't execute well, and then it continues to be called at the most inopportune times and just slow to adjust, whether it's quarterback run game in short yardage or, Kyle Porter personnel issues too. So we have to get all that stuff buttoned up. I don't know what Tom's going to decide to do going into the off season. If we look at, Drew Maringer maybe taking a bit more of a role, Stan Drayton, I don't know. But what's happening right now is not working, and especially the conference that you're playing in. Yes, I expect our defense to be, good, but in the Big 12, you have to score points, and you need dynamic quarterback play. And I want to finish the video with Sam Ehlinger, Shane Buechele thing. I mean, I think right now you gotta move forward with Sam. It seems to me that Shane is just a better practice player, and it's gonna look good. And he's still a more natural thrower of the football, but just the pocket presence stuff, and honestly, just his injury history, you can't really rely on him. And I thought both of them did some positive things today. Nobody did anything that crazy that stood out, which is another reason why Michael Dickson was deserving of the MVP. But with Sam, just his ability to extend plays and make plays down the field and run the football a little bit, I think you just have to kind of go forward there and hope that the same type of year-to-year development you saw in our heyday with Vince Young and Colt McCoy, you hope that you see that with Sam Ehlinger and the leadership qualities develop. So I'm excited about that. I know there's going to be a lot of talk about the end of the game celebration stuff and Tom Herman's, antics on the sideline. Was it immature? Yes, but I didn't mind it from the players one bit. From what I've heard, there was a lot of trash talking throughout the week on behalf of Missouri. And, you know, it is what it is. The horns down thing, nobody ever talks about it when people put the horns down consistently, and it's very, very disrespectful. But whenever Texas retaliates or mocks somebody else, you know, we're classless and it's the end of the world. So honestly, I don't mind it. You know, even the Tom Herman stuff, if his players are down and he's protecting his players, and I know he spoke out very heavily at halftime and after the game about the Daniel Young personal foul penalty at the end of half when he was just trying to get up and defend himself. So I like that stuff. I felt like guys were rallying around him, and if that's going to bring swagger and an edge to the program, look, we're not in the business to be liked. We're in the business to win football games. And I could care less if people hate Tom Herman or think he's a douchebag or whatever because of his antics. As long as he's winning football games and recruiting well and doing what this program needs to be doing, that's all we really need to be caring about as fans. So I'm not going to get too caught up in the runaround with that. But just excited to get a bowl win. I mean, it's yeah, we're only 7-6. Overall, in my opinion, it's still a disappointing season. We still have Tim Beck and all that. But a lot of momentum to look forward to. Excellent recruiting class coming in. And, you know, you can see the wheels start to turn in the Tom Herman regime. We have an AD now. So, you know, he talked about alignment a lot. And I'm starting to see some things starting to align for us. So, you know, hopefully we'll be able to make a video. I'll probably make a video, another UT one, around National Signing Day once we get our full class in order and try to break down some prospects I'm really excited about. But until then, let's celebrate the bowl win. Hook 'em horns.